Hi everyone, welcome to yet another edition of our live feed on the NDTV's YouTube channel. We are live every day with a big story of the day, and we're happy to take your questions on these big stories. So today the big story, and this has been now for some time, is this entire debate over whether India should have a national register of citizens like there has been in Assam, a national NRC. This is something that the BJP and its leadership have been talking up again and again, and Amit Shah has once again raised this in West Bengal, where he was today, where he once again said that there would be an attempt to detect and kick out illegal immigrants from all over India, but that there will be an attempt to protect any Hindus. So Hindus will not be considered illegal. The government will bring a law, the Citizenship Amendment Bill, to protect them and other minorities except Muslims, but essentially indicating that everybody else will be detected and thrown out as part of this national NRC. So the question really is that, is this something that India needs? Is there any proof to back up this claim of the fact that there is large-scale illegal migration? And also, is this constitutionally and ethically sound to distinguish between different types of quote-unquote illegal? So just put us your questions in the comment section, and we will be taking them as we go along. We already got some responses from some of our users on Instagram. There were quite a few of those that were not actually giving your particularly the fact that you were necessarily saying one way or the other, you were raising questions. Several of you were actually giving your own opinion on how you felt about it. So we have somebody who goes by the name of Princess Sisodia, who called this a good initiative. We have somebody called Yadav Shreya. She says this is not a humane thing to do. There is someone called Yes Abhishek by the handle who says this is bad, bad, bad. Someone else called H Dangi says this is a waste of tax money. And Human Being 66 says this is positive and this is for India. So I think the question really is, as we can see from these comments, that people are giving both sides of the story. And the question really is that, what is the basis on which all these claims are being made? Is there actually any proof that there is such a large population of quote-unquote illegals in India? Because remember that the NRC in Assam, that finally the figure that they came up with after conducting that entire exercise was 19 lakh people who were found quote-unquote to be foreigner, or who were excluded from the list. Now, that may seem like a large number, and it is, but remember that those people can also now go ahead and appeal their prospects, and that will further bring down the number to perhaps even half, because that's been the strike rate at the Foreigners Tribunal so far, which will finally determine these things. So that could come down to somewhere around 10 lakhs. Now 10 lakhs is a percentage of the population of a country like India or a state like Assam, is very, very small. And I think the question of numbers and evidence has haunted this entire issue from the beginning. And we've tried to go back to the government again and again and ask them, what is your estimate? Do you have an estimate for the number of illegal Bangladeshis in India? And you'd be surprised to know that actually the government itself has been telling Parliament again and again that they don't have any accurate data. So in the past 5 years itself, the government has issued 7 denials to the Lok Sabha saying they don't have accurate data on the number of illegals in India. Do remember, by the way, to keep your questions coming, and we'll be happy to take them as you send them across to us. But that's the picture as far as it goes. So here are some of the questions that are coming in. And these are, again, as I said, also comments, like Rohit Tiwari saying that this is only relevant for border states. He says it doesn't matter for the rest of India. Will Shoaib will Bangladesh, this is from Shoaib Akhtar, will Bangladesh accept them if we found millions of people who are not able to prove themselves? Now, this is again a very good question, because we don't know exactly what the position is once these people are finally found to be illegal. Bangladesh has said that we are not going to take any of them, so we don't accept this. India has told Bangladesh that don't worry, this is an internal matter of ours. This is what the Foreign Minister of India told his counterpart when he was in Dhaka recently. So if India is already accepting that they're not going to be deported to Bangladesh, then what exactly is going to happen to them? So Rohit Tiwari saying they shall be left stateless. Yes, this is quite possible that they shall be left stateless as well. So there are still many questions that the government has yet to answer. As I said, we still don't even know what the government's estimate are for how many quote-unquote illegals there are. So in 2004, Sri Prakash Jaiswal, this was under a Congress government, said there were 1.2 crore illegal Bangladeshis in the country. Later, he had to withdraw the statement. Kiren Rijiju, who was a Minister of State for Home under the previous Modi government in 2016, said there are 2 crore Bangladeshi migrants. He said there are 2 crore Bangladeshi migrants. He didn't say how many of them are illegal or not. So, as I said, the numbers continue to be very, very suspect, and there is no clarity about them. Also remember that India has been going around saying that we cannot become a dharmshala to the world. We can't become a refugee capital. And this is absolutely true. No country wants to become a kind of haven for refugees coming in at a number or a scale large enough to pose a challenge to your population. But the fact is that India is not in the top 10 list of countries that host refugees. The topmost country is Turkey, which has 37 lakh refugees. Next is Jordan, Lebanon, Pakistan, Uganda, Sudan, Germany, Iran, Bangladesh, Ethiopia. India doesn't feature in that list. So again, the contention that India is somehow becoming a kind of dharamshala for refugees or is becoming a capital for refugees is not borne out by the facts, at least as of now. So Sahir is asking, Amit Shah saying no worry for Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, etc. What about Muslims? Is he not Home Minister of Muslims? So this is, I think, the question about the Citizenship Amendment Bill, which many people are raising, because nationality in India is not defined on the basis of religion. Citizenship is not defined on the basis of religion. The Constitution guarantees equality for all. But once you get into this area where you start saying who's entitled to be an Indian or not, you get into a kind of problematic space. Because remember that this is something that has come up for the first time. Now the BJP's justification is that they're saying that these people are fleeing persecution in Muslim countries where they're minorities like Christians, Hindus, etc. They are fleeing persecution, and therefore we are giving them legal status and not Muslims, because Muslims are not persecuted in Muslim countries. So there are two problems with this argument. Number one is that in the Northeast, where this is an issue, they are not making that distinction on the basis of Hindus or Muslims. They're saying anybody who's come into the Northeast who is quote unquote an outsider is for us a foreigner and is changing the demographics, is changing the cultural landscape of the state, and that's why we want them evicted. Number two, not everybody who's come in to the Northeast has come in as a victim of religious persecution. There are people who've come from other parts of India who are seeking a better life in the Northeast, like from Bihar or Uttar Pradesh. There are people who come from other northeastern states. So there are internal migrants as well who are of Hindu origin or practice the Hindu faith. So how will they then be fitted under this Citizenship Amendment Bill? So there are both ethical questions, there are legal questions, and there are practical questions to this entire story. We also have comments and questions coming in which are saying that this is a political gimmick, this is a political move. Now, of course, given the fact that this has been an election issue for the BJP, they have raised it in their election campaign that just went by in the Lok Sabha elections. A number of states, BJP-led states, that are also going to polls. Their chief ministers are raising it. Manohar Lal Khattar in Haryana has said he wants an NRC. The Delhi BJP chief Manoj Tiwari has said there should be an NRC in Delhi. Yogi Adityanath has said there should be an NRC in Uttar Pradesh. But again, friends, the key thing to remember is that we must ask these leaders, give us the proof, give us estimates of how big the problem is. And when we ask them that, we don't get any clear answers. So we'll be looking at this at closer depth tonight on my show, Reality Check, at 8:30 p.m. So do feel free to tune in with the show. We'll be addressing the question that has been raised about the NRC. We'll be bringing you facts to also address some of these claims, the rhetoric that have been raised by political leaders. So do remember to tune in. But for the moment, we're signing off here. Thank you so much for joining us on our YouTube feed. Do look out. We'll be back tomorrow with another big story. So keep your questions ready.